Hello everyone. In this video I will review and flip through Flow magazine number 37, which I must say is a very interesting publication. My name is Laura and I'm from the Queen of Mirth, and I'm so grateful to be able to be here with you today. But back to Flow magazine. I bought it a week or two ago at Michael's, and I must say that $25 is the absolute most I've ever paid for a magazine in all of my 72 years. I find that it's prohibitively expensive, but I did want to take a look. I've never seen one before, but I've been hearing about it quite a bit. Why did I make this purchase? I keep asking myself the same question, but it's because I did hear a lot of talk about it in the junk journaling community, and I wanted to see what it was all about. So I did buy it, and now I'd like to share it with all of you. This is the cover, and it's a perfect example of the kind of photography that we find in the magazine, and I must say that the photography is absolutely excellent. Really, really good. The first thing we see when we look at the cover is a good quote, not that there are any bad quotes from this man, from Ralph Waldo Emerson, and it says, "But in the mud and scum of things, there always something sings." And here there's a thought which is representative of what we find in the magazine. How to find your balance in a changing world. An ode to digital friendship. Why standing still can be the way forward. And extras are coloring pages and mini posters. Now, when we open the book, or when I open the book, I should say, I like this little sort of retro kind of nameplate, and I love this paper about, it's all about, there's chickens and fish. Pretty cool. And I think a picnic basket or a basket of bread. Anyway, I like seeing those kinds of things together. And the first thing that they say to us, however, inside the magazine is, as you will notice, this issue of Flow does not include the range of different papers and the separate paper extras that you're used to. Now, they go on to say that because of COVID, they are not able to get hold of the papers, and they don't have the networks, or the networks that they once had are no longer working. So what they've done, they feel, to make up for this, is to make the book a little bit longer than usual and to give some coloring pages and some mini posters. Now, the first thing I'm going to say is this is called the magazine for paper lovers. Now, I am a paper lover. I have been a paper lover for many, many years. I love paper, but I gotta say, I don't love this paper, the paper that it's printed on. Now, I can say maybe this is because of COVID. This is the first time I've had a Flow magazine. The first time I've even looked at it. I've looked at it since I bought it a couple of weeks ago, but this is the first one I've ever had. And it was my understanding that they used very good quality paper, and that there are different kinds of paper in the same issue. That's not the case here. It's all the same, and it's not too thin, but it's kind of like newsprint or something. It has a matte finish, which is often very nice, but it's not really great paper. Let's put it that way. In fact, I think that paint or anything liquid would probably bleed, although I didn't test it. So the contents tell us what there's going to be. Pictures, life, they've divided up pictures and life, and as you can see here, under the life part, there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, pretty much 9 serious articles. And I got to say, the articles and the writing in this magazine are excellent. It's written by some pretty smart people who know how to write, and they have tackled some difficult subjects and made them very interesting. Here, they're just little things that I can point out. Creativity speaks a global language. There's quite a bit of diversity of different types of people represented in the magazine. And there's also a bit of kind of a focus on the difficulties in the world right now, particularly with COVID-19. And it says like this: refinding your balance in uncertain times. The rapid shift our lives took earlier this year highlighted just how unstable our world can be. And then there's an article about how we can anchor our storm-tossed ship. Here. It's how to find your stability. I think it's helpful. I found that it's very positive and hopeful, and they're trying to give us some tools to cope, to help us better cope with what is going on in the world right now. So here it says, I know that if my boat sinks, someone will pull me out of the water and carry me along. Well, she might know that for sure. I don't know it for sure, but I certainly hope. I'm hopeful that that would happen. And this does give me some hope, and I like that. So this article is about, there are 3 entrepreneurs who are interviewed and talks about their lives. This one, I have to tell you, she's from Vancouver, and so am I. Vancouver, Canada, that is. Yeah, she might be my neighbor. And she's a textile artist. Beautiful work. And beautiful art photography. It's a small world after all. I remember that. It's a small world after all. Anyway. And then these kinds of little illustrations are pretty cute, pretty cool, and I love this. All the animals all on each other, all on top of each other, talking about nurturing our relationships. The philosopher, Epicurus, I found this very interesting, a bit about the Greek philosopher, what kind of a life he had, and a little bit, tiny bit about his philosophy. And then this is a quote from Charles Bukowski, the poet. Poetry is what happens when nothing else can. And yeah, I love this page. So this is an article by someone, her name's Elizabeth, I think Day maybe. And then this is an artist from Japan. I think she lives in the United States now, and she's known as the Polka Dot Princess. And, you know, just through the article about her, I don't know, it's a very, very interesting way of explaining her art. I found it. I would say don't buy this if you're not going to read the articles, because the articles are a great part of it. It's not a book of simply visual art, but there is a lot of writing. This is interesting. This is Do You Really Need This? you know, many of us, including me, are decluttering our lives and our stuff, getting rid of stuff. And this is a visual experience, but it's about, you know, do we really need this? Do we need all our tablecloths? Do we need heels that we can't walk in? Why are we keeping them? It doesn't say why are we keeping them. It's just tick the box. Heels you can't walk in, yes or no? Well, I haven't had mine for many a year. I stopped carrying those around a long time ago, but it's something to think about. Incomplete board games. Actually, I have original Monopoly pieces, and I think they're adorable. So I haven't got rid of those yet, and I may not. So, but interesting photography, and like this is about a woman and her sustainable home. She and her partner, I think a husband, have built a very tiny home, and they said they did a lot of it with the help of YouTube. It's kind of cool just to have a view into their house. And then this is something that I noticed. These are in the public domain, and a number of things I saw in this Flow magazine are in the public domain, which means that they don't have to pay for them, and they, you know, they have the right to use them as we do. And beautiful posters, actually. And I also noticed that for people who want to, say, cut this out, they make it so you're not going to miss anything on the back, really. This is a very great article. It's something I wasn't aware of. It's art that is called Tiny Art Show concept. And miniature works of art are displayed at floor level or at baseboard level, and they're really small. I love miniatures, so I found this idea very unique and kind of compelling. I like it quite a bit. So it takes us through some of that. And then this is Japanese fireworks advertisements from a long time ago. And then this is good. This is like, I drink fruit water all the time. In fact, I'm drinking it right now. See, you can see the strawberries in there. Anyway, this is some recipes for fruit water, and I think they're really good. Like this one has cinnamon sticks in it. I hadn't thought of putting cinnamon sticks in my fruit water, but I think it's a great idea. And then this is watermelon and cilantro. Although some people call cilantro coriander, it depends on where you live, but it has a pretty good flavor. With watermelon, I think it would be really good in water. And then these illustrations, or these works of art, I think they look like paper collage, but I'm not sure. In any event, they're pretty good, and they're used throughout. And like I say, if someone wanted to cut that out and use it in their art, that they're not destroying another article, or they don't have to make a choice between images. Like, there's a good one on the front, there's a good one on the back. Which one do I cut out? Which one do I lose? I always make those decisions with magazines when I'm making my glue books and stuff like that. So now these are the coloring pages, and each person who contributed one writes about why they chose the subject that they chose, and they're all to do with what we're going through now. I think the pandemic. This says, stay healthy, stay calm. And they're made so that a person could take them out of the magazine and color them. Now, sadly, I don't do that kind of coloring, just because I really don't have time. If I was doing that, then I wouldn't be able to do other things that I need to spend the time on. So I love this, all the little kind of doodles. Yeah, I think that's great. So yeah, this one says, stay safe, there is no place like home. And she says that she loves to just stay in her house and sit on the sofa. And then the person who did this one loves plants, and so she did a greenhouse. And this talks about the COVID-19 and getting back to basics and figuring out once again what's really important for us. Things we can do to make our time better. Things we can learn. And then this is about advice, wise words, homespun advice. People just, when things become difficult, sometimes people just give us advice, and this is about that, and that sometimes this advice is actually very good. So, and this one is moving forward while standing still. After the first few weeks in lockdown, her home began to feel like a prison, although a luxurious one. But over time, she discovered that she has a lot more resilience than she thought. So this is another article about coping strategies and about a person who went through, a positive change at the end during this pandemic. Now these are the posters. This is Debbie Harry. We're invited to cut them out and put them on the wall or something. And it says they're to embellish your home office, adorn the kitchen cupboards, hang over your bed, or stick next to the bathroom mirror for a dose of inspiration. Well, I'm not going to do that. I don't really want to put them there, but someday I might think of something to do with these pages. A mistake is simply another way of doing things. So it's a quotation. They're all women, and they're all, powerful in their own ways, and all giving inspirational thoughts. This is Virginia Woolf. She's so beautiful. It says, one cannot think well, love well, sleep well, if one has not dined well. And this is Josephine Baker. She says, I shall dance all my life. Beautiful. And Frida, she says, I am my own muse. I am the subject I know best. This is the author Colette. She says, you will do foolish things, but do them with enthusiasm. It's good advice, I think. And this Georgia O'Keeffe. So this is pretty much the end of it. Now I asked myself, would I subscribe to this? So I looked it up I looked online to see what the deal was. And in Canadian dollars, it's over $225 for 6 issues, but then you get this Paper Lovers book, and you get a journal, I think, for 2021. But that's an awful lot of money for me to spend, like over $200, quite, significantly over $200. So I don't think I would. But, and would I buy the magazine again? Well, I like to support these independent publications, but it's hard when it costs so much.
it's more than any magazine I've seen. But maybe, you know, I haven't seen a whole lot. I mean, I just myself living here in Vancouver. But, you know, I have seen a few things, but none of them have been a magazine this expensive. So would I buy it again? I probably would if it had the paper goodies that have been in the previous ones. Now, I hate saying that because I don't want everyone to feel that way, and then nobody subscribe and nobody, you know, buy another one, and then they go out of business. Well, that's a dreadful thing. We don't want that to happen. So the way I should answer my question about would I buy it again, I would say that if I had the money to do so, which I don't, I would, because I would want to support them. And I think it's great. I think it's a great magazine. The articles are very well written, thoughtfully written, on subjects that are important, and on some unique subjects too, like the philosopher. You know, I can't fault it for that. The illustrations are very good, very well done, fresh. You know, fresh. They're not copied from other things. You know, this whole thing is it's a very unique type of magazine. And the photography too, like I said at the very beginning, the photography is stunning. So if I could afford to, I would buy it again, and I would do my best to support, you know, these people who are putting this out. It's in Europe. I think they're in Amsterdam. In any event, I would if I could, but it's not that easy for me. Anyway, I'm glad I bought it, though. I don't think it was a waste of money at all. I'll live with it for a while. I don't really want to carve it up with my scissors right yet, but eventually I probably will. And you know, when I'm no longer reading it and when it's put aside for a long time, I will undoubtedly bring it out and give it a brand new life. In fact, maybe not too long from now, who knows. So anyway, that's what I have to say about Flow magazine, about this issue of Flow. This is issue 37, and thank you for watching. I really appreciate your being here, and hopefully you'll come back and you'll subscribe to my videos and press the like press the like button. Thank you so much. Take care, and I wish you all the very, very best. Bye.